Once upon a time there was a girl named Awakening Beauty. She was the prettiest, most elegant baby with ocean blue eyes and soft, lavish skin.
Her mother had died while giving birth to her, so she lived with her father in a little cottage in Vermont. Awakening Beauty's father was a tall, devious, and muscular man. Her father had a very irregular talent, though. He was able to make potions and change people's emotions. One day, as her evil father was experimenting on potions and their effects, he gave Beauty a bottle filled with wine punch and mixed it with other chemicals. The wine punch was cursed with a spell, and made her go crazy. Awakening Beauty was affected by the potion and was never able to go to sleep or rest. The only way she was able to go to sleep was if she had a true love's kiss. Her father regretted giving her the potion because every night she would cry and stomp around the house while he was trying to sleep. This made the father very crabby and annoyed. A few weeks later, the father was so angered by Beauty that he dropped her off at an orphanage agency in New York City. Years later, when she was 18, she was able to leave the orphanage and move out of the streets of New York City. Nobody wanted to adopt her all of those years because the other kids in the orphanage told the parents visiting her that she was a strange child and would cause the parents trouble. This was partly true because Awakening Beauty was never able to go to sleep, but overall she was the sweetest and smartest young lady anyone could ask for. As soon as she left the orphanage, she went to find an apartment and a job. She found a job working at the mall. She also found an affordable apartment right across the street that she could walk to back and forth every day. She loved to shop. Shopping was her favorite hobby. She also enjoyed drinking Starbucks coffee and getting sugar rushes. Starbucks coffee and other caffeinated drinks became an addiction for her, and she went off the walls. She literally could jump 10 feet off the ground when she had that much caffeine. Beauty's addiction to caffeine was an effect from the potion her dad gave her when she was little. Beauty hated being so awake all the time, but there was no way to get out of it. Since everybody else slept during the night, Beauty went for long runs in the dark or took college online classes and read books. One Saturday night, while working at the mall, Awakening Beauty had a huge sugar rush. She was the only one in the store at that time, so it was okay. As she was drinking many Starbucks coffees and monster drinks, a peculiar yet attractive man came into the store and looked at some clothes. When he came to the checkout line and saw Beauty, their eyes touched, and they both felt a connection between them.
The peculiar man asked Beauty, "What is your age, where do you live, and will you go on a date with me?" Awakening Beauty said yes and could not stop thinking about him. She could not comprehend this new feeling she had inside of her.
She had never felt this way before about anyone her whole life, and used her energy to prepare herself for the date. Immediately after her shift was done, she went on a quest to find the perfect outfit for her date. After finding a white lace top, she found a blue skirt, which resembled the ocean and was the same color as her eyes. Her blonde hair flowed over the top and curled around her face. Though she did not know it, as she walked out of the mall that day, she had found her true love. That Saturday, Awakening Beauty spent her night, like all others, wide awake and keeping herself busy. She prepared everything that she would need for the following day, all the way from what type of eyeshadow she was going to wear to what type of socks she was going to wear. Once the sun had risen, she began to get ready for her lunch date with the mysterious man. As she walked down the busy street of New York City, she turned her head with her gorgeous and shiny hair and felt confident. Beauty took a deep breath and walked into the cafe where she had planned to meet. Awakening Beauty flipped her hair as she circled around the room looking for the same man she had seen at the mall, and spotted him in the corner. As she walked over, he pulled out her chair and helped her in, and asked her how she was. They talked and discovered how much they could relate to each other. Their senses of humor matched perfectly, and they both enjoyed each other's company. As she left the lunch cafe to go on with her date, she felt something that she had never had felt before. Awakening Beauty's feeling was something that she has been searching for a long time, but could never manage to find it. During her whole life, she had felt so alone, especially with losing her parents and becoming an orphan. No one could ever relate to her, and no one ever knew how she felt. For the first time, she wanted to trust someone. Her date went on for hours, and at the end of it, they both realized that their love for each other was magical. Just as the guy went to give her a hug, Beauty moved her head, and they both had the most romantic true love's kiss anyone could ask for. This true love's kiss, which Awakening Beauty had no idea of, would be able to break the spell and make her fall asleep. The guy picked her up and carried her while she was sleeping and dreaming. They soon lived happily ever after. The moral of the story is to never judge a fairy tale by its ending. Even though fairy tales can sometimes be unrealistic, everyone is still able to find their true love in life and live a happy, healthy life together.